The Vicar of Dibley once brought laughter, joy, and warmth to millions of hearts. But what happened behind the scenes was sometimes more intense than any script. Some actors passed away suddenly, leaving behind unfinished careers and unforgettable roles. Who were they? And how heartbreaking were their final chapters? Let us remember and honor them. Let's dive in. Liz Smith as Leticia Cropley. At the age of 73, Liz Smith took on the role of Leticia Cropley, the eccentric school teacher, famous for her bizarre recipes that had the entire village on edge, in The Vicar of Dibley, 1994 to 1996. Her character became an indispensable part of the series, turning Liz from a familiar face on television into a beloved comedic icon admired by millions. Born on December 11, 1921, in Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire, Liz endured a childhood marked by loss and hardship. When she was only 2 years old, her mother passed away, leaving her in the care of her widowed grandmother in a small, cold house. She had to become independent early, making a living through all sorts of jobs, from street vending to working in a sweet shop. Amid the difficulties, Liz found hope when she married Jack Thomas, a man she met while serving in the Royal Navy. But the joy was short-lived. The marriage broke down due to her husband's addiction and violence. Divorce forced her to raise 2 children alone, facing both financial struggles and social prejudice. Through those years, she juggled making ends meet with holding herself together. Then, nearly at the age of 50, an unexpected opportunity to act came her way, opening a new path that lifted her out of the darkness and into the world of the arts. On December 24, 2016, Liz Smith passed away in Worthing, West Sussex, at the age of 95. She left behind an estimated fortune of around £4 million, the result of a late-blooming yet explosive career. The image of the silver-haired woman with sparkling eyes and a mischievous smile remains on screen, a reminder of someone who endured a lifetime of storms, yet never forgot how to bring laughter to others. Trevor Peacock as Jim Trott. Trevor Peacock left an indelible mark as Jim Trott in The Vicar of Dibley, 1994 to 2015. At the age of 63, he brought to life a bumbling, absent-minded, yet irresistibly charming Jim Trott, whose catchphrase, "No, no, no, yes," made audiences laugh every time he appeared. This role not only became synonymous with Peacock's name, but also an irreplaceable part of the cherished memories surrounding the BBC's hit sitcom. Born on May 19, 1931, in Tottenham, England, Peacock grew up in a country just emerging from war, with all the economic difficulties that entailed. He experienced profound personal heartbreak, with 2 failed marriages and periods when he had to raise children alone under strained circumstances. The pressures of family and career led to habits such as smoking and drinking, things that seemed harmless but gradually wore down his health. Even so, Peacock worked tirelessly in both acting and music, making his mark with the hit song, "Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter," which topped the U.S. Billboard charts in 1965. However, in 2009, while his career was still steady, he was diagnosed with dementia. The illness progressed rapidly, taking away his cognitive abilities, his capacity to communicate, and even his memories of the achievements he had once built. On March 8, 2021, Trevor Peacock passed away in Yeovil, England, at the age of 89. His net worth was estimated at around £1.5 million, the reward for decades of dedication to stage, television, and music. Though the cruel disease erased his memories, the artistic legacy he left behind remains clear, a lasting reminder that his laughter and music will continue to echo for years to come. John Bluthall as Frank Pickle. John Bluthall left an indelible mark on audiences worldwide with his portrayal of Frank Pickle, the meticulous yet amusingly absent-minded parish council secretary in The Vicar of Dibley, 1994-2013, a role he took on at the age of 65. He brought to life a Frank Pickle who was both long-winded and charming, turning what could have been dull parish meetings into some of the most memorable moments in the series. That image not only brought laughter, but also became a familiar emblem for fans of British sitcoms. Born on August 12, 1929 in Jezirzany, Poland, Bluthall's childhood was marked by upheaval as war and anti-Semitism spread across Europe. In 1938, at just 9 years old, he and his family fled to Australia to escape persecution, beginning a life in exile filled with hardship. Poverty forced young John to work from an early age to help support his family, instilling resilience but also leaving deep emotional scars. As an adult, he married actress Judith Barron, but their marriage ended in divorce, leaving him to raise his child alone under financial and professional pressures. Tragedy struck again when a serious car accident caused spinal injuries, forcing him to step away from the stage and endure chronic pain for years. His habits of smoking and social drinking in the artistic circle further strained his heart health. Yet driven by an enduring passion for the arts, Bluthall fought his way back, appearing in everything from Spike Milligan's classic comedies to Hollywood blockbusters like Casino Royale, proving the lasting appeal of an artist who persevered through adversity. On November 15, 2018, John Bluthall passed away in New South Wales, Australia, at the age of 89. His net worth was estimated at around $2 million, the result of more than 6 decades of tireless work in theater, television, and international film. His passing left a great void in the hearts of fans, especially as it came just 2 years after he had lost his lifelong partner. Gary Waldhorn as David Horton. At the age of 51, Gary Waldhorn became forever remembered for his role as David Horton, the conservative yet magnetic parish council chairman in The Vicar of Dibley, 1994 to 2020. He portrayed a character who was rigid and patriarchal, but carried a subtle humor, creating the perfect foil to female vicar Geraldine Granger. The interplay between the two became one of the defining elements that made the series so deeply loved. Born on July 3, 1943, in London to a family of Austrian Jewish heritage, Waldhorn grew up in an atmosphere shadowed by wartime memories. His father, who had worked as a translator for German prisoners of war, carried with him the tensions and haunting stories of that period, filling Waldhorn's childhood with a lingering sense of unease. As an adult, he found stability in his marriage to Christy Dickinson, but after their only son left home, loneliness began to creep into his life. His stage career demanded grueling work schedules that drained his energy year after year. Tragedy deepened in 2019 when his mother passed away after a long illness, leaving him with a profound emptiness in his later years. On January 10, 2022, Gary Waldhorn passed away in London at the age of 78. His net worth was estimated at around $3 million, much of it stemming from his iconic role in The Vicar of Dibley and advertising contracts. Though he is gone, the image of a stubborn yet dignified David Horton lives on, reminding audiences of an actor who gave his heart and strength entirely to his art. Roger Lloyd Pac as Owen Newitt. At the age of 50, Roger Lloyd Pac stepped into the role of Owen Newitt, the blunt yet humorous farmer in The Vicar of Dibley, 1994 to 2007. He transformed Owen into a character who was rustic, sometimes a little offbeat, yet unexpectedly warm, creating memorable moments that perfectly contrasted with female vicar Geraldine. Alongside this, Lloyd Pac was also slow but steady trigger in Only Fools and Horses, a role that cemented him as a British cultural icon. Born on February 8, 1944 in Islington, London, Roger Lloyd Pac grew up in an artistic family but not without turbulence. His father, actor Charles Lloyd Pac, was both a career inspiration and someone he had to bid farewell to far too soon when he passed away in 1983. That loss left a deep emotional void and sent him into a prolonged period of depression. Emerging from this grief, Lloyd Pac faced other trials: 2 failed marriages and the responsibility of raising a child alone under financial and professional pressures. His health was gradually worn down by a long-standing habit of smoking and drinking, indulgences from his youth that later contributed to his pancreatic cancer diagnosis. Even as illness struck, he continued working, striving to maintain his image in the eyes of the public until his strength was truly gone. On January 16, 2014, Roger Lloyd Pac passed away in London at the age of 69. His net worth was estimated at around £5 million, much of it from his role as Trigger in Only Fools and Horses, as well as appearances in films like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and numerous long-running television projects. He was laid to rest at Highgate Cemetery, where fans still visit to pay tribute. Emma Chambers as Alice Tinker. Emma Chambers made an unforgettable mark on audiences through her role as Alice Tinker in The Vicar of Dibley, 1994 to 2007, a part she took on at the age of 30. She turned Alice into a comedy icon, naive, eccentric, yet irresistibly endearing. The on-screen chemistry between Alice and female vicar Geraldine Granger not only brought laughter but also created warm, touching moments that made the character an inseparable part of the show and of the viewer's memories. Born on March 11, 1964 in Doncaster, England, Chambers grew up in a medical family but faced serious health problems early in life. She suffered from severe animal allergies and chronic asthma, conditions that affected her daily life and led to multiple hospitalizations. Nonetheless, her passion for acting pushed her to step onto the stage and screen despite these limitations. Later, her marriage to actor Ian Dunn ended, leaving Chambers to live a rather quiet and solitary life. The pressures of work, combined with unhealthy eating habits, gradually took a toll on her health, quietly paving the way for heart problems. At the height of her career, these factors became a heavy burden to bear, yet Chambers continued to maintain a professional image for her audience until she withdrew from the spotlight. On February 21, 2018, Emma Chambers died suddenly in Lymington from a heart attack at the age of 53. Her net worth was estimated at around £3 million, largely from her role as Alice in The Vicar of Dibley and as Honey in Notting Hill. Her passing left deep sorrow among colleagues and fans, but the laughter and warmth she brought to every role remain as lasting proof of Emma Chambers' exceptional talent and spirit. Richard Griffiths as Bishop of Malberry. At the age of 52, Richard Griffiths appeared in The Vicar of Dibley in 1999 as Harry, a witty and insightful friend whose presence brought a rare blend of depth and refinement to the show. His portrayal added a distinctive charm that not only enhanced the series, but also sparked curiosity about the man behind the on-screen brilliance. Born on July 31, 1947, in Thornaby-on-Tees, England, Richard Griffiths endured a childhood filled with harsh challenges. Both of his parents were deaf, forcing him to learn sign language from an early age to communicate within the family. At 8 years old, he underwent radiation treatment on his pituitary gland, a medical decision intended to stimulate growth, but one that resulted in a lifelong metabolic disorder, causing chronic obesity. His distinctive body shape made him a target for ridicule and bullying, leaving deep emotional scars. Yet this pain quietly shaped his extraordinary ability to inhabit roles with power and sensitivity, enabling him to create characters that carried immense emotional weight both on stage and on screen. On March 28, 2013, Richard Griffiths passed away in Coventry at the age of 65, following complications from heart surgery. He left behind an estimated net worth of £5 million, but more importantly, a lasting artistic legacy in the hearts of audiences. His warm smile, kind eyes, and resonant voice remain vivid in memory, as though he is still there, inhabiting the characters that defined his craft. Terry Wogan as himself. Terry Wogan made a memorable appearance in The Vicar of Dibley in 1998 at the age of 60, playing himself with the effortless charm and poise that had endeared him to audiences for decades. Known for his warm, witty broadcasting style, he brought a unique sense of familiarity and grace to the show, making viewers feel both connected to him and curious about the man off camera. Born on August 3, 1938 in Limerick, Ireland, Terry Wogan grew up in a strict Catholic household, where discipline and faith permeated every aspect of life. His childhood was shaped by rigid teachings, but also by personal losses that forced him to mature quickly. Before finding his calling in radio, Wogan worked in banking, all the while navigating personal upheavals, including a marriage that ended in divorce, leaving him to raise his child alone. The demands of his career, combined with long-standing habits of smoking and social drinking, gradually took their toll on his health, a hidden cost of a lifetime devoted to his profession. On January 31, 2016, Terry Wogan died in Berkshire, England, at the age of 77 after a battle with prostate cancer. His net worth was precisely estimated at £25 million, the culmination of an exceptional career on radio and television. Though gone, his voice, humor, and warmth remain woven into the collective memory of those who welcomed him into their homes for so many years. Preston Lockwood, as Vicar Podle. Preston Lockwood made an unforgettable impression when he appeared as Vicar Podle in The Vicar of Dibley in 1994 at the age of 82. Though he appeared only in the very first episode, the scene in which his character suddenly dies mid-service became the pivotal moment that launched the show's main storyline, a blend of humor and surprise that audiences have never forgotten. Born on October 30, 1912 in Essex, England, Lockwood grew up in a poor, working-class family, with a bus driver father and a homemaker mother. His modest upbringing meant he had to take on manual labor jobs from a young age to help support the household, but his love for the stage drove him toward a career in the arts. As a young man, he married the woman he deeply loved, but the marriage eventually broke down after years of strain, leaving him to raise their child alone while facing financial pressures and a demanding acting schedule. His grief deepened when his ex-wife later died in a domestic accident, plunging him into a period of profound loss. Years of smoking took a toll on his health, yet he remained steadfast on stage and screen, treating acting as the one constant that kept him moving forward. On April 24, 1996, Preston Lockwood died in London at the age of 83. His net worth was precisely estimated at £500,000, most of it from supporting roles on radio and television. For those who saw him perform, his image remains a fond memory, proof that even the briefest roles can leave a lasting mark. Dawn French, as Geraldine Granger. Dawn French carved a lasting place in the hearts of audiences when she took on the role of female vicar Geraldine Granger in the legendary sitcom The Vicar of Dibley in 1994, at just 37 years old. With her witty, intelligent, and warm presence, she not only delivered laughter, but also conveyed profound messages about community and human kindness. Beyond the spotlight, the role became an inseparable part of her artistic journey, cementing her status as an icon of British comedy. Born on October 11, 1957 in Holyhead, Wales, Dawn French grew up in a military family, but her youth was overshadowed by tragedy. In 1977, at the age of 19, her father, her emotional anchor and constant encourager, took his own life after a severe battle with depression, leaving her with a psychological wound that would last decades. In her personal life, she married comedian Lenny Henry, and together they raised their daughter Billy. However, after 25 years of marriage, the relationship ended in 2010 amid accusations of infidelity and deep-seated conflict. Facing life as a single mother, she continued to work tirelessly while battling declining health caused by poor eating habits and occasional injuries, including a minor car accident. Her losses deepened further when her mother passed away in 2012, closing a chapter of profound personal pain. As of 2025, at the age of 68, Dawn French remains active in the entertainment industry, still appearing before the public with her signature charm. Her net worth is estimated at around £10 million, much of it from The Vicar of Dibley and her best-selling books. To her fans, she stands as a symbol of resilience and emotional strength. James Fleet as Hugo Horton. James Fleet left a deep impression on audiences when he portrayed Hugo Horton, the well-meaning yet bumbling son of the parish council chairman, in the legendary sitcom The Vicar of Dibley in 1994, at the age of 42. This role, alongside his success in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, cemented the image of James Fleet as a charming, warm presence, becoming an inseparable part of fans' memories. Born on March 11, 1952, in Bilston, England, Fleet faced a profound loss early in life when his father died at the age of 10. This tragedy forced him and his mother to move to Aberdeenshire to start anew. The absence of a father figure shaped him into a reserved and introspective boy, but it also nurtured a quiet strength within him. In 1984, he married actress Jane Booker, a lasting love that endured through decades of professional pressures, constant touring, and moments of psychological strain. Despite always striving to balance family life and his career, Fleet's health was once challenged by a social smoking habit and a sudden on-stage accident that forced him to temporarily step away from acting before making a strong return with new roles. As of 2025, at the age of 73, James Fleet remains active with fresh projects, including his portrayal of King George III in the hit series Bridgerton. His net worth is estimated at around £3 million, largely from 4 Weddings and a Funeral and The Vicar of Dibley. To the public, Fleet is not only a talented actor, but also a symbol of resilience. Richard Armitage as Harry Kennedy. Richard Armitage captured the hearts of the Vicar of Dibley audience when he appeared in 2006 at the age of 35 as Harry Kennedy, the real-life prince who won the heart of Vicar Geraldine Granger. Though he only appeared in the final episodes, his character became one of the series' most romantic and beloved highlights, delivering a sweet and emotional ending to Geraldine's journey. Born on August 22, 1971 in Leicester, England, Armitage grew up in a modest household, with his father working as an engineer and his mother as a secretary. His childhood unfolded in the tranquil Leicestershire countryside, where he discovered a passion for the arts through playing the cello and performing in school plays. Yet alongside this passion came challenges. As a shy child with few friends, he often felt the pressure to express himself through music and acting. After graduating, Armitage committed to his artistic ambitions, enrolling at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. He spent years working as a stage actor with unstable income, taking on odd jobs from waiting tables to teaching music in order to survive. These difficult years honed his persistence and emotional depth, traits that would later define his on-screen appeal. By 2025, at the age of 54, Richard Armitage remains busy with acting and voice work, and is regarded as one of the finest audiobook narrators in Britain. His net worth is estimated at around £15 million, built on standout roles such as Thorin Oakenshield in the Hobbit trilogy and the Netflix series The Stranger. For fans of The Vicar of Dibley, the image of Harry Kennedy smiling joyfully at his wedding to Geraldine remains an iconic moment. Peter Capaldi as Tristan Campbell. Peter Capaldi made his mark on The Vicar of Dibley in 1997 at the age of 39, portraying Tristan Campbell, a suave yet calculating character whose arrival disrupted Dibley's peaceful atmosphere. Though his screen time was brief, Capaldi infused Tristan with a mix of charm and sly mischief, keeping viewers both intrigued and wary, and turning the episode into one of the sitcom's most memorable highlights. Born on April 14, 1958 in Glasgow, Scotland, Peter Capaldi grew up in an Italian-Scottish family where laughter and storytelling were woven into everyday life. From a young age, he was drawn to performing arts, taking part in school plays, and even making short films with an old camera. Yet his path to success was far from smooth. Capaldi spent years struggling in the industry, accepting minor roles while holding on to his dream. His breakthrough came when he won the Academy Award for Best Live-Action Short Film with Franz Kafka's It's a Wonderful Life, 1995, which opened doors to bigger television and film opportunities and cemented his reputation as both a gifted actor and a capable director. In 2025, at the age of 67, Peter Capaldi remains active in film and television, best known to global audiences as the 12th Doctor in Doctor Who. His net worth is estimated at around £10 million. For fans of the Vicar of Dibley, Capaldi's elegant yet mysterious Tristan Campbell remains one of the show's most unforgettable flavors. Johnny Depp as himself. Johnny Depp made a surprise appearance in The Vicar of Dibley in 1998 at the age of 35, playing none other than himself. It was a brief cameo, but an unforgettable one, as he portrayed the celebrity crush Dawn French's character longed to meet. The mix of humor and charm turned the episode into an iconic moment, linking Depp's name to one of the most whimsical and memorable scenes in British sitcom history. Born on June 9, 1963, in Owensboro, Kentucky, Depp's early life was marked by constant relocation, leaving him with a sense of instability and a longing to find where he belonged. At 15, he dropped out of school to pursue music, but fate steered him toward acting, where he rose to fame rapidly. Yet behind the stardom were personal storms: a brief marriage to Lori Ann Allison, a long but turbulent relationship with Vanessa Paradis, the mother of his 2 children, and a high-profile, acrimonious marriage to Amber Heard that ended in a series of lawsuits attracting global attention. Each breakup left deep emotional scars, pulling him into cycles of pressure, substance abuse, and relentless media scrutiny. By 2025, at the age of 62, Johnny Depp continues to work in both music and film, balancing roles as an actor, musician, and director. His net worth is estimated at around $150 million, despite the toll of extravagant spending and legal battles. For the Vicar of Dibley fans, his appearance as himself remains a dream-come-true moment, proof that sometimes reality and fiction can collide in the most unexpected way. The laughter of the Vicar of Dibley still echoes in the hearts of fans, but the absence of familiar faces is a poignant reminder that time spares no one. Which of their moments on screen touched you the most? Share your memories with us, and together, let's keep those cherished moments alive.